Um, I assume you weren't super happy with the offense and maybe the defense that one inning last night. What were your takeaways?
Yeah,
From the
just
game?
disappointed. Just it. We're trying to figure it out. The is it the bus ride up there with the whole team and one bus and jamming everybody in there, and then the preparation was good. I mean, BP was great. Guys were loose. They were ready to play. Same pitcher we 10-run ruled here. We couldn't score any runs again. So, yeah, disappointed all the way around. Obviously, Grand Canyon has been a problem for us, and so we have to figure it out.
Was the plan to all along to give Brendan a couple at bats and then switch out?
Well, the plan originally was for him to DH.
Yeah.
And then they felt like he was ready to go out in the field, and I figured instead of DHing and taking him out when it got a little cooler, we'd let him play as long as we could, and he had a ball that was hit to him, and he kind of went after it awkwardly, I'd say, and was stretching out, and at that point I said he had 3 at bats, that's enough. And hopefully he'll be good for this weekend.
Was there specifics to the approach hitting wise that you didn't like? Were they chasing pitches?
Not really chasing. I mean, we just didn't hit. I mean, we've done it numerous times. So we've come to the realization that our offense is not what we thought it was going to be to start the year, and we're going to have to figure out other ways to win. And one of those ways is to play better defense. And I think, Michael, you alluded to it. We had an opportunity to keep it at 1 run and made an error to start the inning, and then made an error on a throw to third. And we just offensively we have not been able to be able to make up for those kind of mistakes. So we're going to have to tighten up the defense.
Is there something that you guys are noticing with Adonis, like a mechanical issue with throwing down to second or anything? Seems like some of the throws have been sailing.
Yeah, he's not throwing well lately. He's caught a lot, and at this time things are starting to catch up. And do we do 2 out of 3 this weekend and DH in one of the games? We'll see how he's feeling. But yeah, and then some of it has to do with the pitchers too. The pitchers have to be better at holding runners. We talked about that, and a little quicker to the plate, give him a chance. I think sometimes when he feels like the guy gets such a big jump, he rushes and his throw is not accurate.
Are you surprised that the offense hasn't clicked the way you thought that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we thought after last year, going through some tough times with some young hitters, that we would be better for it this year. We thought the offense would lead the way. We talked about this from the start, right? We thought when we're going to Globe Life that was going to be one of our advantages, and it hasn't. I think we've had some clutch hitting along the way, and we won some conference games because of it. But overall, no. There's a lot of things and we still have a chance to do better. And it doesn't matter; it's not going to help their numbers, in their their season numbers. But they can have good numbers going into the playoffs.
How much have you looked at it from the standpoint that you're in a new conference? Is the pitching might be better than what we faced last year? How much of it is that?
No, I mean I think that we face good pitchers in the Pac-12 and we face good pitchers in the Big 12. I couldn't, I don't think that's it at all. No.
Not to pick on one guy, but Easton's average is down in the low 200s. What do you think's been going on?
Yeah, he just obviously getting hurt when he did hurt him. I thought he had gotten hot at that point. And so, yeah, he just has not had the year he's wanted. And he's more frustrated probably than anybody else. And so, you don't want to pile on a guy that's already, feeling the pressure. And, again, he had a really good at-bat last night. Hit a ball in the hole with a guy on first. Hit it hard. And he's hit a lot of balls hard of late and hasn't got a lot of hits. And so, again, I mean, we're just going to stay with we're going to be honest with him. And we have been honest. Toby's been very honest with him. And but we're not going to be negative. We're going to stay positive, and it just takes one weekend to get going, and a team that gets hot at the end is usually the team that does well.
Sure. We're going to be talking to 3 guys who've been here for 4 years coming up. What has it meant to have some people stick with the program?
Yeah, I mean,
coinciding with your time here.
Yeah, in this day and age of college sports, it's hard to get guys to stay. Whether it's not playing or not pitching, they want to go somewhere they can find a place, right away that they're going to be a fit, or whether it's money. If they have a good year, they might want to go search for more money. And these guys have been very solid, and they're going to earn their degrees, and I'm very proud of that. And that's part of the reason why I came back.
What do you think is the factor surrounding like Arizona baseball culture that has had guys stay for 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. We just, the culture sometimes is the people that you bring in, your coaching staff, your support staff. I think guys enjoy playing here. They enjoy Tucson. I think the city's been great. We had great crowds last week versus TCU. I'm sure we'll have great crowds versus Utah. And they want to be Wildcats, and they want to win a championship as a Wildcat.
Aaron Caulfield specifically, what has it meant to have him on this team?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously very hard for him last year not getting drafted. I think he had a great year for us and was one of our leaders. And, for him to come back and finish up here has been super important for us. And I think he's another one that is going to lead us, and he's starting to really swing the bat like he can. And is a true leader captain on the field. So yeah, it's been very super important to me, and we want to have him go out on a high note.
Was that illness that he suffered in, I think it was West Virginia, was that a setback for him a little bit?
Well, I mean, it's whenever you don't play, it's like Summerhill. It's like if any way that you're put on the bench because of sickness or injury or poor performance, it's hard to get going again. I mean, baseball's a sport. You have to get bats going, and so yeah, it was a little bit of a setback for him.
Is there any change to the rotation this weekend?
No, we'll go same way we did last week.
Yeah. So, like, when it comes to Smith, is things that maybe Kevin has had to work on with him to just try to get him to better focus?
Yeah, I think that, being a freshman, this is longer than he's ever pitched. He's, the one thing that's always good with him, he's super mature. He's easy to talk to. You can get into him a little bit if you have to, Kevin or myself. And I had a long conversation with him just, hey, you have to attack every pitch. I mean, these are great hitters you're facing, and you let up a little bit or you walk a guy, it's really going to be tough to pitch out of it.
You usually say about we want to win series and all that, but when you look at the perspective of trying to stay in the top four and also in the hosting conversation, is this a weekend where a sweep is something that you think is necessary?
Well, let's just worry about Friday. Yeah. Let's win Friday best we can. This is a dangerous team. We've played them, obviously every year in the Pac-12, and they pretty much have the same offense that we've seen. They have a lot of the pitchers, and we went up there last year and struggled on the Friday game and came back and won 2. But they're gonna play their best baseball down here. It's going to be good hitting conditions. It's going to be hot. And they have a super good offense. So
and I think they're in a situation where they have to.
Yeah, and their backs are against the wall, and we have to play the same way. So it should be a good dogfight.
You talked about Tommy's positive attitude earlier in the season. Can you just kind of expand?
Yeah,
on
I mean,
it's
I don't even know if you'd call it a positive attitude, but I call it as a steady. He's just very steady Eddie. And I always tell the players, I can look at Tommy during a game and have no clue whether he's got 3 hits or struck out 3 times, if he's made 4 errors or made all the plays. And in baseball, that's the best type of player to have, because he just comes back, whether he's frustrated or super happy, puts his helmet down and goes out and plays defense. So yeah, I think it's a guy that the young guys can look up to.
We haven't seen Richie play for a while.
Yeah, he's injured. He's got a little hip. They've done a bunch of tests. He has not really hit on the field in the last 2 weeks. I know today he felt better, and he'll get in the cage and hit a little bit. So we need to get him healthy. If he can't get healthy for Houston, then it's going to be tough to put him on the roster.
So Matisse is kind of your 5th infielder then?
Matisse and then Guerra, yeah.
And Guerra.
Yeah.
You get to do 30 for the Big 12 tournament.
Yes.
What about NCAA goes down to 27?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a matter of trying to figure out who those last few guys are. And
whether it's 15. We'll probably go 15 pitchers for the tournament, because there's a possibility of if we're hopefully it's just 3 games, but it could be 4. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. All right.
I'll be back with